Austin, and we bring this up because it's sort of what community-powered ATX got started, formed around. Has anyone heard of the Home Amendment in Austin? Okay. So the Home Amendment was a somewhat recent change that passed in December of 2023. And it has changed standard zoning around single family in Austin to allow for up to 3 units to be built on one lot. And with so many large lots and single family homes in Austin, that definitely could read as a positive thing, right? Like increasing density in Austin in places where historically have been very exclusionary. However, City Council claimed that this would explicitly promote affordable housing by allowing the supply to increase, which would theoretically lower the supply. But as Sol mentioned before, there were no requirements within this that units that would be built through home would be affordable. And so while the market is churning out units, they are not necessarily going to be offered at affordable rates. They'll be offered at the rates that are profitable to the developer and based on the location. And what's more, that home applies across the city in theory. But in reality, there are many houses in West Austin that have restrictive covenants that prevent that kind of development legally, and neighborhood organizations that can prevent home from impacting the area. So here we have some early data about the rollout of home and where places are being built under this new zoning category. And then on the other side, we have a map of neighborhoods that are vulnerable to displacement based on a vulnerability index. And so you can see that there's some dispersal of units throughout Austin, and this is also, I think, early on in the first initial phases of home. But it does, visually, you can see the concentration of home development happening on the Eastern Crescent. So yeah, that's kind of how the impact, the practical impact of these intensive developmental policies is concentrating development where the city has set up development to happen. And so you can go to the next slide. But yeah, we also wanted to look at who was behind this home amendment, who supported it, and who lobbied for it. So on the one hand, you have the home amendment supported by urbanist organizations in Austin like Aura, and lots of people who consider themselves YIMBYs, and we'll hear more about the YIMBY movement soon. But it was also supported by a lot of these business interests, the Austin Board of Realtors, the Real Estate Council, all stood to benefit from this. And then we also have a group called Texans for Reasonable Solutions. Has anyone heard of Texans for Reasonable Solutions? Okay, you can go to the next slide. So that's an organization that was founded by Luke and Nicole Nosek. So Luke Nosek is one of the co-founders of PayPal. And so he's a billionaire that moved to Westlake with his wife, Nicole Nosek, a few years ago. And it's basically a lobbying organization for housing. And so Nicole Nosek came to City Council and lobbied specifically for the Home Amendment. And she's been lobbying at the state legislature as well. And they are known to be libertarian ideologues who are connected to a lot of other people that we'll hear about soon. You can go to the next slide. And we know that they're not just interested in things like the Home Amendment to densify housing. They're also large contributors to the Save Austin Now PAC, which is the PAC that led the campaign to recriminalize homelessness in Austin. And they also donated to Kirk Watson's campaign as well. And so we also like to tie it back to a wider perspective. We see Elon Musk also parroting these kinds of narratives that if we just increase the supply of housing, that's what we need to alleviate this crisis. So that kind of leaves us off on a cliffhanger to hear more about that background of the YIMBY movement and why they're so